So
Well, there you go. You can get some Culvers then. We keep
it was
talking
like
about it.
match made in heaven for tonight. That's what it was. It's like, oh, where am I gonna eat tonight? Well, it looks like it's gonna be Culver's because free coupons.
Welcome to Culver's. Here, bro. I do it. The butter burger. What can I do for you?
You got it all wrong. There's only white people that work at Culver's. It's
Oh,
Culver's.
I was just doing an example of what I would think a certain person would sound like if they worked at Culver's. Pretty close though, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's pretty good. You have a pretty good accent there for that, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I have to raise my voice about 3 octaves, talk through the front of my mouth, and make my head go from
Yeah,
side to
you got
side
to
while
do
I'm doing
the
it. Yeah.
body wiggle with it too.
Fucking Christ.
So, how fares the canning? What are you gonna can tonight then?
Nothing. I need calcium chloride for my pickled stuff, like peppers and shit. It's not gonna be here till tomorrow. My pickling salt won't be here till Wednesday, but I can just use regular sea salt for a
Yeah.
couple batches. And yeah, I'm gonna be pickling shit tomorrow, probably shipping Wednesday, and then pickling in the evening. Doing beets, pickled beets.
I like beets. Beets are good.
We ever had pickled beets?
Yeah.
Like good pickled beets, not the
I
shit that
don't
you
know
get in
if
the
I've ever
store.
had good pickled beets, but I've had pickled beets.
Right.
So, it's something I got to sit down and figure out. I got to do. I got to learn how to can.
I also have to get a shitload of the equipment.
That's the problem. I have all the stuff. I just don't know how to do it. It's one of them things where I like have to sit down and like do it. Like I have the big pot, I have all the jars, I have the lids, I have all the special like cleaners and shit to make sure it's all not like germ free and crap. And
You don't need special cleaners, but holy
yeah,
fuck, that's a big storm.
yeah, it's supposed to rain here in a little bit. So
There's like these little like micro storms fucking popping up all over around here.
yeah,
So
it's gonna rain, which is gonna be great because it's not gonna be cool until the end of the week. So now it's just gonna be humid.
well, I woke up today at 5:40. Like
There you go, like one does. Yeah,
the kitten always wakes me up there, and I let the fucking weasel horse outside, right?
yeah,
And at 5:40 a.m., I'm like, holy shit! Like it's gonna fucking storm today.
yeah. I wish it did, but it didn't here. So
But yeah, the shit's still popping up.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not gonna fuck.
It rained for like 2 hours this morning, like right when I got to work,
Yeah.
and then not like hard rain, and then it was like sunny all day, and then now it just got cloudy again. It's gonna start raining here probably at like
Right.
7.
Yeah. I saw that big system as I woke up. I looked at that and I saw that big system. You got the rain part of it. They got a pretty severe set of thunderstorms. No tornadoes that I know of. I can look at that in a bit. Kind of like in South Central, right below the Twin Cities.
Oh, good, that's not me. Fuck Iowa.
South. Well, no, it was not that far from you. You were part of the same system. You were just the northern part. It was
Yeah,
connected. But anyway, so then that dissipated. We had apparently light rain this morning, and it dissipated,
yeah,
which we never fucking got light rain this morning. And then all of a sudden, like these little blobs, these like red to orange blobs popped up north and west of us, headed right for us, and we were like, okay. And then
sweet.
it was like one formed, and then bam came in our line. Two formed, another one came, and they only lasted like 15 minutes
Yeah,
each.
it was like nothing. It was little bursts of light
Right.
showers is all I
But it
got.
kept like
From
they kept
it.
like forming just north and west of us, and I'm like, what the fuck? That's just
Well,
weird.
I mean, the weather's been fucked the last couple of years, anyways. Nothing surprises me anymore.
It's the goddamn globalists and the global warming. I'm telling you.
Well, my city keeps having about half the city is alternating between having power out and not, as they're still fixing shit from when all that stuff came through.
Yeah.
So people keep bitching about how because the city keeps shutting off certain parts of the grid to work on it, and so people are like bitching that the like place across the street has power, but they don't, and yeah, and the stores are getting real pissed off because I don't know if you've ever been in the store where the power goes out, they have to like lock all the freezers, and they put these like big curtains over the top of all the like vegetable bunkers and stuff like that, and like freezers to try to like trap the cold in.
Yeah.
And if it sits for too long, I think it's like more than an hour without getting power, everything has to be thrown away.
That sucks.
Yeah. So, but like that's what the stores have insurance for. But it's just annoying that they're shutting the grid off and they have to fucking drop everything and rush to put up all these like curtains and shit. And then they tell
Yeah.
people they can't buy any of it. And
Why can't they buy it if it's going to get fucking thrown away and, well, liability? Again, lawyers. You know.
well, a lot of it is, well, because if they let people open the fucking curtains to get the stuff, they're letting more cold out.
Right, I know. And then somebody gets sick. They go, "We're suing the store."
Yep. So they're like nobody could buy any frozen stuff or dairy or vegetables or anything like that. And then if it sits for more than an hour continuously, then they have to throw it all away.
Maybe a hard reset wouldn't be that bad.
No, the more I think about it, the more and more I think that's going to be good for the planet. So if Mother Nature sends a significant portion of us the way of the dinosaurs, I feel like that's going to be
I think
good
the biggest thing that I've kind of been like theorizing and thinking about is people who would otherwise starve and be fucking killed or left out to die in the wilderness and tribal like people culture up until not that long ago. People who would otherwise be considered weak and just cast out, they now create jobs for themselves, and they attract other weak people to create or to fill these positions that they create.
Yeah.
To make their job seem legitimate.
Well, it goes even deeper than that. Now that the weak
Right.
and the dumb and everything aren't dying, they're passing that on.
Oh yeah.
And it's slowly spreading and growing throughout the whole population.
It's fucked.
Yeah. We're literally, this is like the first time genetically the humankind has taken a down step.
I don't know if I agree with that.
We're getting there.
No. I'm saying historically, like comparing it, people have done really dumb shit.
People have done really dumb shit, but
taking a down step. Roman Empire, that's not even the most recent, but that's the biggest example of most recent.
Mm-hmm.
There's been so many other little examples of people stepping down, basically.
Yeah.
But the Romans, they became hedonistic as shit. They didn't give a fuck. They became so corrupt. They didn't care what their government was doing.
Oh, so they're doing exactly like what we're doing right now. Who would have thought?
They literally, if the government wanted to, start a fucking riot or some shit, oddly enough,
they could.
They could. They would have the people to do it, and it's sort of eerie. But the only difference is our population. The only difference, really, that Americans have is our population in itself is extremely well armed.
Yeah,
I'm not just saying that.
That's what's happened. Well,
two-way all the way, but I'm like, that is, when I look at it from a historical standpoint, that is a massive difference. Is our population?
America is like what 1 in 12 firearms ever made on planet Earth are in America.
I don't know. It's a lot.
Statistically, like if you put them all together throughout like history, 1 in 12 of them is in America, the United States.
I don't know. You might be right. I don't know. I don't know the stat.
It's like it's like an absolute shit ton. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's why, I mean, it could turn out the exact same way that all these other empires fell. It could the guns could just mean more blood. Who knows? But it could also mean that it doesn't suffer the same fate. But when a lot of people that I know who have guns are talking about this shit, they're like, they want it to happen. And I'm like, they are fatter than me. They cannot run a mile without stopping.
No, those are the people that they're not going to make it, no matter how hard they try.
No, but here's the thing: is like whoever's going against them, if they have the same ideology as most Americans do, people are going against them. They've got all their guns and their fucking gear and their shit,
Yeah.
So it's like you could spend $6,000 fucking dollars on your kit, but if you're a 400-pounder with no military experience, you played video games your whole life, you've been fucking.
That's just free shit for me to take after I pry it off your corpse.
Yeah, but
So,
you're not gonna be killing them and taking that shit. That's the thing. It's
no,
like,
they're gonna starve to death or break an ankle or something and just be fucked.
and
Yeah,
unfortunately though, what I've thought about is like, so the super leftists, like Antifa and the communists, right?
yeah.
If they were to decide to take up actual arms and the whole, like Tim Pool says, a civil war, fucking fear
But
mongering.
that's like really against their whole movement. They don't like guns.
Well, they do actually, because they were passing them out in fucking Chaz for,
Yeah,
you
but
know,
yeah, a lot of those people damn near shot themselves in the legs or in the foot or
and they
something
literally
like
did
that.
shoot themselves and
They
their
don't know
friends.
anything. Yeah.
They, at that, yeah, but all that nuanced shit aside, if it were to kick off, the biggest fight would be between these people who have what I just described, all the gear, no military training, way overweight, way out of shape. I'm out of shape. I admit that. That's one of
I'm
my
out of shape
right, but
and
that's one of my only drawbacks. But I know
yeah.
how to get in shape within about 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And
Same
people
thing.
can laugh at that and be like, "Oh," and I'm like, "No, I've done it before. While I was
Yeah.
fat. You can get in cardiovascular shape, and
People look at me as being relatively in shape and I am out of shape.
right." But it takes about
I
2
know for a
weeks.
fact that I get winded way faster than I
Oh
used
yeah,
to running.
and then
I
throw on
yeah.
70, 80 pounds of gear.
And
Yeah,
yeah, I'd be toast and I'm in relatively good physical shape. I'm still out of shape.
right. And
So,
that's the thing is, that's what I was gonna make a video on. Like, maybe we should do that as a team effort sometime
yeah.
when you're down here. Like next time we do helmet ballistic tests, is the well-regulated part of the Second Amendment.
Yes.
Well-regulated, because I admit I'm not well-regulated right now because I'm out of shape. It would take me 2 weeks of solid training, physical
Yeah.
training, in a secure environment to get up to a basic standard level of where I would need to be to even begin to fight.
Yeah. I'm
And
sorry. I was watching your camera because you're lagging behind.
but all the sound came through.
Yeah, all the sound comes through, but
Okay, that's
your
fine.
mouth
It doesn't
moves like
it
a
doesn't it
second
doesn't
later.
matter. So but you know what I'm saying is, like, I
Yeah.
admit that. I freely admit that. And by you admitting that, it's like that's how you know. But here's the thing: is 2 weeks
Yeah.
isn't that long in the grand scheme of things.
No, it's not. I mean, worlds have ended less time than that, but that's fine.
In movies, maybe. I
Yeah.
don't know. But here's the thing: is also, if you got adrenaline,
Adrenaline really snaps you into shape really
yeah,
quick.
that could snap you into shape in about 3 days if
Yep,
you
for
got it
3 days
constantly
you'll be
flowing.
jacked.
Get enough
The
sleep and
crash
you get enough
after
adrenaline.
that, like the crash once you get done after that 3 days is absolutely terrible,
Yeah,
but
because you have to do that for 3 days and then you have to sleep for 4.
it
But
pretty
hey,
much, yeah.
yeah. But
Not
no,
to
it's
mention eat like 8,000 calories
oh
because
yeah,
your body's
yeah.
going to be just tearing itself apart. But
But no, it's like, the people that I've seen posting about this shit and making videos on this shit, it's they want it, which I think is absolutely fucking ridiculous. Because
yeah, like we covered on last stream,
yep.
nobody should want.
And
And here's
here's the
the
thing
thing:
is,
this is all entirely solvable without a war.
oh yeah, but here's the thing is, it's people that are just dumb that haven't actually been through hell. So it's like,
Well, welcome to 2020, Mike.
oof. No, that was an enjoyable burp, man. I'm telling you what.
Yeah, I know. I
I
haven't
made
eaten yet today, so I was gonna eat, but we decided to do the stream early.
You had plenty of fucking notice. Don't give me that pity party bullshit.
I got home at 4:30, so it's 5:30.
Well, then you said you had to go to bed early. Anyway, we'll probably end it early then. But no, so I made lentil penne pasta, right?
That sounds fantastic.
With
I love lentils, so
I used the basically like a third of a quart of excess sauce that I had from last night when I was canning it. I
mm,
threw it in a fucking pot. I threw in basil, minced garlic, a bunch of garlic juice, powdered onion because I don't have any fresh onion on hand, oregano, and a little bit of red wine. Let it fucking cook.
that
Threw that
sounds
on
pretty
the.
awesome.
Oh, it was fucking beautiful.
Are you one of those people now? It might just be me. I might be fucking weird. But I don't have a gluten allergy.
Yeah.
And I love bread and all that other stuff. But when I have pasta, I actually prefer the taste and texture of like vegetable pasta. Is that weird?
No, I mean, wheat pasta is pretty bland.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like I might be the only one who prefers to have that tricolor veggie pasta over regular pasta.
See, I don't really have a preference, but yeah, I mean, I don't think you're weird for it.
I think it tastes better than regular
Well, right, it
pasta.
actually has flavor to it versus.
Yeah.
I mean, again, wheat's not wheat. Wheat is a fucking mass-produced grain to feed a shitload of people, give them
That's right.
calories, and that's it. It's
And
not
it's
about
not even
flavor.
really efficient at it compared to other types of
No,
food.
exactly.
Like potatoes. Potatoes have like 5 times the yield nutrition-wise
Right,
than wheat does. It's off the charts. Wheat is so inefficient, but people like it for some reason.
right.
So what we should do is we should be making more stuff out of corn and subsidizing that more.
Well, they're starting to, but corn and potatoes, man. Like,
Yeah, corn and potatoes. That's all you need.
yeah, it's
You could turn corn into gas.
turn potatoes into gas.
That's true.
Like, seriously, it's the same.
Yeah.
It's because they're so fucking starch rich. Corn and potatoes. That's what they make fucking vodka out of.
That's right. Vodka's good. I like vodka.
But that's
haven't bought
ethanol.
any
Like,
for a long time. So
it's undiluted ethanol is vodka.
true.
You know, it's like that's what it actually you get, and then they have to dilute it down to 40%. But like, yeah, when they make it out of corn or potatoes, it's like, you know, you get 95, 96% ethanol,
Yep.
and that'll burn. That'll fucking run a fucking engine.
That will run an engine for sure.
So yeah, wheat's a very inefficient fucking crop, and there's a very small lobby that has been fucking pushing for wheat to be
for a
protected,
long time. Yeah,
and it's just so dumb.
wheat is not only is it terribly inefficient and it takes a ton of water, it really, really, really sucks nutrients out of the soil.
Fuck yeah.
A shit ton.
So you have to pump. You have to spend more money on the processing of fucking fertilizer to pump
corn
it into.
sucks more than wheat does. But the thing about corn is you can plant a crop like a fall crop over the winter and just let it break down, and it'll return nutrients that corn needs to the soil. Whereas wheat doesn't really do that.
No, wheat just sucks everything.
Yeah. So
it's a grass. Yeah.
it is a grass.
Well, so is corn. Yeah.
Corn is a grass. Yeah.
Well, it's a very fucking improved grass, we'll say.
It is. Well, I mean, corn is so beyond genetically modified at this point. Like corn, like that scientists have found from like where it like
it's not genetically modified.
It's not even edible.
Right. It's hybridized. That's the thing. Like, it's cross pollinated and hybridized. Before genetically modified, the reason I have a problem with that is people are like, there's a big debate. I have a problem with why it was genetically modified and how the effects work. Is it was genetically modified so it would resist Roundup, which is a chemical, a fucking chemical.
I don't know if you were ever exposed to it as a kid, but I was exposed to fuck tons of it as a kid. Like, it was literally inside my mouth and on my skin and all over it. And now that I found out that stuff gives you super cancer.
Yep.
And it's a horrible chemical. And yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it's an herbicide. And what genetically modifying the corn does is it just makes it resistant so it won't die from the herbicide.
So you can spray anything on it and it'll kill weeds. And it also, well, Roundup also is a pesticide too. So,
well, it depends on what kind of Roundup, but
yeah.
It was originally
Roundup Ready corn, which was a thing that came out in the 90s, late 90s. Yeah.
No, that shit. That shit came out in the 70s, dude. Monsanto.
Yeah, but no, they didn't get it to where it could do the herbicide, the pesticide, and the fungicide. That wasn't the
right. But it started in the late 70s.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Yeah.
But here's the thing: is so GMOs. Everybody's like, it's not gonna kill you and all this stuff because whatever. I'm like, well, it allows the chemicals to be sucked up into the fucking plant, okay, and it not to have an adverse effect. The plant won't die; it will just kind of ignore it, basically, for lack of. It just
holds on to the chemical, yeah.
So what the fuck are you eating when you have genetically modified corn or anything, soybeans? You're eating the fucking chemicals. Whether it be small amounts or larger amounts, depending on the soil or whatever, there's scientists to do this to make sure it's safe.
The cool thing about Roundup. Heat breaks it down, so cooking it will totally kill it, and you'll be.
Oh, are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, you're about as sure as I am. Let's be honest.
So
that's what they tell you.
There's also a lot of other chemicals and pesticides that work the same way, but
they're not genetically these strains aren't genetically modified to be resistant to them, though.
Yes,
and not
but
be affected by them.
There's a lot of stuff that they use these chemicals and pesticides and fungicides and stuff on where you don't cook it.
Right, and so here's the thing. No, my understanding
corn is kind of an exception because corn gets so processed that it'll break it down.
I disagree. I think that's what they're telling you. Based on
they could be very well just telling us that, yeah, for sure.
Because the thing is, you can buy somebody from the FDA. They're part of the government.
For sure, yeah.
So I don't believe a goddamn word they say. I believe, hey, I've had corn plenty of times, and you have too when you're a kid. Maybe, I don't know when they started using Roundup around you, where you grab it, you pick it, there's fucking worms in the tip, and it's like, okay, we'll check for worms, we'll cut that part off, bam. It's not perfect, okay, so the kernels aren't that big, whatever. And the really weird thing is, we're going to get really personal here.
Yeah.
With that sort of corn, that's just homegrown and not, because people around here actually don't use that much shit. I've noticed.
But that was the corn that like humans actually eat. Because as far as I know, only field corn is Roundup ready. Sweet corn isn't.
No, but it blows off and it cross pollinates with other
strains. Yeah, for sure.
No, it does. It's not that it can, it does. And then people get sued because they'll go in and test the strain of corn and say, this is half our fucking
Roundup on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, what's weird is when I eat corn that has not been exposed to the GMO shit and like whatever, the old school stuff, we grew it.
Yeah.
We grew it and there was nobody using pesticides around us or herbicides, and it wasn't close enough at all to be in the air. It's weird because everybody goes, oh, you ate corn, you shat out corn, right? That never once fucking happened when I ate like normal corn that wasn't fucked around with.
It happens to me every time.
But the cobs aren't that big on the corn that we have, the heirloom variety. They're maybe about, I don't know, 8 inches tall.
Yeah. Well, that's an ungenetically modified corn and stuff. It could just have a weaker membrane or something like that. That's easier for your body to break down.
But it's also not as easy to store it unless you can.
Exactly, yeah. And it's also exposed to all of that potentially bad bugs and plants.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Out of like 10 cobs, I get maybe 2 worms, and I just cut the fucking...
Yeah, cut that off. That's fine. It's not going to hurt you, yeah.
Because they usually go for the tip first, and they go into the cob. And also... it's fucking protein.
It is, and you're cooking it anyways, so it's.
But yeah, that's what I found odd. Like that's when I started actually looking into the GMO shit. And I'm not like a paranoid.
But I want a strawberry that's the size of a tennis ball, Mike.
Well, that's not. Well, I don't think that's GMO. I think that's crossbred and hybrid.
That's genetically modifying it.
No, it's not.
It is. You're putting it into a selective gene program where you're literally genetically modifying.
You don't understand GMO.
Google it.
No, you don't understand
Google
GMO.
It. It's a type of genetic modification for plants. Google it.
They take DNA from a totally different species of plant and inject it into this corn fucking species. No, you don't. Okay, we're not on the same page. We'll talk about this some other time, and I'll explain it to you. GMO doesn't mean crossbred and hybrid. It means you're literally injecting DNA from another species into a species that it's not native to. So it's to be resistant towards, and it's also like they're doing like things from fish or totally out of the fucking whatever into corn or some other plant to make it resistant towards a certain bacteria or a certain fucking chemical, i.e. Roundup. The big ass strawberries, those are hybrids. They're not genetically modified, like to my knowledge. Like genetically modified means you're trying to build up a resistance to a certain thing that will take the plant over. Not just natural shit. Like you can crossbreed the shit to be the biggest whatever fruit possible, the highest caloric content.
Well, it says there's 4 different ways to genetically modify plants, and crossbreeding is one of them.
Yeah, okay, whatever. Your source will probably, It's not that bad. It's not that bad. You're using Google.
No, but like you're right. There
You're
is 4
Google?
different kinds of genetic and one that says that they could actually engineer DNA, like physically just make DNA in a petri dish and inject it into a plant. They could take it from another living source and
Yes.
inject it into a plant.
Which is
But
what, yeah.
cross-pollination and selective breeding are also genetically modifying a plant species.
You're using Google, correct?
Yes.
There you go.
And
it's Google.
yeah.
What the fuck are they gonna tell you? They're gonna
This is from
tell
the FDA, but
and
but they're also a government organization.
That was my
they're
next
also the
point.
ones that make the rules on what a genetically modified thing is. So,
well, fuck them. Here's the thing: two out of 3 of those things have been happening for hundreds of thousands of fucking years. The last one hasn't. So if you're telling me you're using Google to search this and the FDA is your source, I don't buy it. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna fucking believe it.
Okay.
When I say genetically modified, I mean the first one where they inject DNA from another fucking species of existing organic matter into another piece of existing organic matter to make it resistant to a chemical that they can put on there to get a higher yield to inevitably make more money.
Yeah.
That's
like
what
when
I'm
you
saying.
take 2 different potato species from across different parts of the planet and you crossbreed them together to make them disease resistant and increase yield.
Oh my God, you're not fucking getting this because you don't garden. You don't understand this. So if you take 2 really good plants, okay?
Yes.
And you plant them next to each other and go, I hope this crossbreeds.
Yes.
That is not genetically modifying them because they're still fucking potatoes.
Yes.
Say we're using potatoes. They're not potatoes with fucking this kind of fish DNA in them, or some kind of weird mushroom DNA mixed in with this potato. They are fucking potatoes that crossbred, naturally fucking merged, and became a different species of potato. They're not genetically fucking modified.
But a lot of that crossbreeding happened in a lab for a lot of the types.
No, it didn't.
That's how we got the russet potato. That was made in a lab.
I was just gonna say, the lab shit hasn't happened except for the past 110 years.
Yeah.
The russet potato sucks. It's the most fucking unnutritious, calorie-rich, and fucking unversatile potato they've ever fucking made. They wanted to make it bigger by injecting
most of the other kinds of potato were also done in labs like that.
No, they fucking weren't. Again, you don't garden. You don't understand this shit.
No, I know what you're talking about. How if you put 2 plants together that you really like and have good genes, and they cross-pollinate and make a better plant that's going to keep producing what you want, that's a natural way of doing it, but you're also kind of playing God.
No, you're not.
By putting them right next to each other.
If they're not going to cross-pollinate, they're not going to cross-pollinate. There's plants that don't cross-pollinate and they die. That's the end of their cycle. Bam.
That's true.
You don't get it. It's not playing God. It's like, will this work? And that's what people have done. It's different than people genetically fucking modifying the DNA structure of a plant.
Yes.
That is not at all the same animal. So I'm trying to explain to you, you're not getting it because you've been brainwashed.
I get they're different things, but they're all still changing the genes of the plant.
No, they're not. They're not changing the genes of the fucking plant.
So are humans the same as monkeys? Because we're genetically related and we come from them.
Oh my God, dude. That's not the argument. The argument is genetically modified in the modern context.
Yeah.
Genetically modified organism.
Mm-hmm.
Your definition of cross-pollinating is the FDA's 3rd or 4th definition of it. Not fucking true. They are now taking shit and creating their own fucking organism that has never existed before.
Yeah, they're literally making DNA, but at the same time, in the next room, they could also just be like, these 2 strawberry plants are kind of nice, so we're going to plant them next to each other.
All right, we're done. We're done talking about this. I'm getting pissed off because you're not fucking getting it.
I'm 100% getting what you're saying.
No, you're not.
Because there's 4 different kinds of genetic modification. Selective breeding is a type of genetic modification.
So if you were to fuck somebody that wasn't white, would that be genetic modification?
If the kid came out with a combination of genes, yes.
But it would still be a human, correct?
Yes.
You just contradicted yourself.
How?
Humans are one gene.
Yes.
Okay. Never mind. We're done with that conversation. Let's move on to something else. How's your Enfield going?
Basically done. Still waiting on the wood.
Really? They said by the end of August.
End of August, yeah.
No, first they said the end of July,
it was
right?
mid-July. Then it was end of July.
Dude,
then it was
honest to God,
mid-August.
mid-September, if they don't ship that shit and you don't have tracking info, I'd fucking do a chargeback.
I
Fuck
haven't
that.
paid them.
You said you did.
No, I ordered it. I haven't paid them. I don't pay them till it's done. So
I mean, if you want a number one Mark III forend, I can get you one right now on eBay for like $140.
a number one Mark III
Yes.
with the mag cutoff and the volley sight cutouts.
Number one Mark III star, I guess.
Yeah, I could get number one Mark III star stocks all day. It's the number one Mark III. That's hard to get.
I don't know. Tell them to hurry the fuck up.
I've been on them, but it's two guys. So
doing this or this or
it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, but yeah, two guys in fucking Edmonton, Canada. Yeah.
Oh, Edmonton. Yeah.
Edmonton,
Well,
which they're basically the Alabama of.
We just can't we can't seem to keep the Molson from going down into our guts here, and we'll get there eventually. You know. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Fucking Christ.
So, and so they promised me a pretty big discount though at this point. So
we'll see.
But if worst comes to worst, I'm just gonna go out to like a guy I know over here, and I'll buy the wood, and he'll fucking shape it. I have a number one Mark III star stock that he can get rough things off of, and I could give him the volley sights, and he'll make it work. And it's not going to be exactly perfect, but it'll work if that works. So that's going to cost a lot more though, because he's going to basically have to sand it all down by hand. Whereas like these guys they do one blank by hand where they perfectly do it by hand, and then they have a machine that traces it and it'll carve it out, and then they just have to finish it. So
Jesus.
Yeah. So but it's all done. It's all done, and the FAL still has a lot of grease on it I have to take off. I've only got like halfway into that lower receiver. But all the finish on it is super good, and like basically everything except for even a lot of the parts in that lower receiver are like brand new. So I was kind of surprised at the quality of what I got for what I paid. For sure. And the wood on it though, the wood on it is fucked. Like the stock is like beat up, and the upper handguard is fine, the like front handguard, but all the fittings on it are rusty as all get out. Like the things that clip into the receiver and stuff.
Each stock is not fucked.
And
show the stock. It's not a gun.
This wasn't taken care of very well, and it's got a bunch of rust and crap in it, and it's really brittle and thin now.
Well,
this is the forend. This is the handguard.
It looks like it's thin. It's actually not. They're pretty fucking thick. The wood on those.
No. The little metal tabs on the end.
Yeah, they're thicker than
those are.
Like, once you scrape that shit off,
they're pitted through in some parts. So, and then that's this is the part that's okay. This wood's okay.
Well, you said that the stock is
the forend. My bad.
On this one, you don't get a pass.
No. That one is definitely my bad. But
no, you said stock, and I was like, yeah, your stock's like good.
No, the stock, stock with the stock was fine. The pistol grip is fine, but this I'm probably going to need to
handguards
replace at some point. Yeah. It'll work for now, but I'll eventually be tracking down a new one.
Well, I don't think you need to. Like once you get that rust off, you'll see it's like you're fine. Because you gotta remember, like I had a wood set on my FAL or my L1A1 for many years.
Yeah.
And it's pretty strong shit.
Yeah. I have no doubt it'll hold up for a little while, but it also is like way pitted, and if I could replace it with something nicer, I will.
Yeah, you'll find them.
Yeah, they're around.
You go for like $60 a set.
Yeah, for sure. So I'm not too concerned about that, but that's the only part that I wasn't really happy with was the handguard. The rest of it is like fantastic.
Yeah, but you also got a hell of a deal on it. So
yeah, I did get one hell of a deal. Like you said, I got it for $580, and they're worth like 900 in L1A1 kit.
8 to 9, yeah.
Yeah, and
if your handguards were in better shape, it'd be about a $900 kit.
Yeah, and all the springs in it are in really, really good condition. Some of the screws are obviously a little beat up, but and I got like a brand new freaking chrome lined barrel for it, brand spanking new.
Oh shit!
So, yeah, brand fucking new. Like you probably can't see it, but it's like mirror polished in it.
Yeah, I mean if it's used.
Yeah.
Is that a US made barrel?
I don't even know where to tell.
Markings.
If it would be marked on it or anything, but
I always look mad.
But yeah, basically all brand new parts except for a couple things like the magazine isn't brand new, and yeah, but none of them are at this point. So
right,
but even the magazine was in pretty good shape. So
yep, nice L1A1 mag, inch better.
Yeah, but like even the bolt, brand new, carrier for it, brand new. Nice. Yeah, like literally, I was like, no shit. So, I was like, I feel like I came out on top for that. So, for sure. And now I just gotta go to the police station and turn in my thinger whenever, which is they're only doing it one day a week now, Tuesday.
Your application for your permit to purchase. What the?
My application for my permit to purchase, because
you should just like set a copy of the Constitution.
Yeah.
On the fucking desk.
Well, do you know what the funny thing about it is? With my FFL, if the rifle was all complete, I wouldn't need a permit to purchase it. Because it's a rifle that's a design from before 50 years ago. So.
Nope. You you should do a little bit more research on the technicalities of that. If it was an original L1A1 with an original receiver,
it would just have to have a receiver made before 1971.
Yes, and then you still have to go through the federal class 3 fucking process.
Yeah.
Which means you have to fill out all the paperwork, get fingerprinted, fucking turn it into your local sheriff, and then you have to pay the $200 tax stamp just for the application.
Not if I'm not buying an automatic FAL.
Oh, that's why the L1A1s weren't automatic.
Yeah, so no, that one I would be able to get for under the rights of my CNR if the receiver was before 1971.
But do you know how many of those are in the country?
There's actually a pretty good amount of them that have receivers before 1971.
Nope, there's not.
Yeah, pretty much every one that I've seen, the receivers are from the 60s.
Go to falfiles.com. They have the experts on there. No, there's not. There's not, dude. Like I know this shit. I love FALs. I have for fucking 10 years. I've been on that website, the forums with all the like international experts. There's not a lot of original FAL receivers, L1A1 or inch, or metric in the United States. Like original military ones. There's not. Because they didn't start exporting them from their countries.
Well, yeah, they didn't exporting them until later.
Until after the ban. Yeah. And then, any semi-automatic, it's like, well, you have to get the receiver cut. So that's how I know this shit. Like, there's some things I do know.
Yeah, but most of them were
and
made
receivers.
before 70s.
Sure, but they can't be imported into the country.
No, they can't be imported.
And if you do find one that has an original receiver, you're going to pay 20 grand for it.
Probably, for sure.
Right.
So, but yeah, so now I just got to go do that and then buy a receiver.
They're all sold out right now.
Yeah. I'm also was a tad pissed that the receiver's $600 So can get every single other part of the rifle, but the receiver's $600
There's a panic going on right now.
And yeah. Well, what were they before the panic? Even $500? That's still a bit absurd.
$450 for an inch pattern. I told you this. I actually sent you the link.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could build an FAL. The link. Hey, here's the thing: is the link I sent you.
Yeah.
Both links I sent you last year. In the end of summer, you could build an FAL with my tools for less than like $800.
Yeah.
Okay, total. And you said you didn't have the money, which is fine. I've been there. I get that.
Yeah.
But now this is why I say, if you can move some cash around and, just not go out to eat as much or, do this shit for a while and, it's worth getting it now because it's going to fucking go up eventually. And this is what I meant by that. Surplus wise. It sucks. It happens, oddly enough, usually around election years.
Yeah.
I don't know why that happens, but no. And so it's FAL receivers are going to suck. That's why I might buy a couple kits.
Yeah, but even back when they were $450, that's outrageous for a
just for an inch
receiver.
pattern. Though.
Yeah, for a stripped receiver, $450.
Yeah.
How much is a stripped AR lore receiver? $60?
Yep.
Yeah, see what I mean? There can't be too much work that goes in between both of them.
Oh, there's way much of a difference. A huge difference. The amount of pressure, the design. Yeah, there's a lot of work.
Just buying steel. Okay, great.
Okay. I mean, you seem to be knowing it all, so I mean.
But I mean,
yeah. AR receivers are aluminum. You understand that, right?
Yeah, AR receivers are aluminum. Yes, I know. That's why they're
I think 90% of them are made in like 2 places in the United States, and they're just roll stamped with whatever. They're all basically the same. They require a cast fucking bit of aluminum. They mill them out, or they just fucking, CNC them.
So why can't they do that with an FAL receiver?
They do, but they're also incredibly strong steel, and they have to be heat treated like a motherfucker.
Okay, that would definitely make the process take more.
They have to be heat treated extremely precisely because of the amount of pressure and fucking wear and tear they take.
Okay.
And it's a very thin piece of steel if you're considering how much pressure is actually in. I think it's about 55,000 psi in the fucking chamber and in the front of the actual, like the threads of the receiver.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, they're gonna cost more, and also, how many FALs are floating out around there versus ARs? Supply and demand. I'm gonna make a product that costs me a shitload to make. I have to buy all this machining. I have to do all this research, get all this blueprints, this heat treating process. I have to have liability insurance.
But then again, they're all also only making like barrels and receivers. How come there isn't companies in America making the other parts of the FALs to just make them all here, like with the ARs?
Because it's so goddamn expensive that nobody would buy them. DSA makes fucking FALs. That's like the FAL.
Like they make magazines and they make handguards and stocks and stuff and everything.
They get magazines made, but yes, they make FALs here. But they're also $1,400-$1,500.
Fair.
So yeah, I mean, like, it is what it is for certain things.
For sure. Makes sense.
And an FAL has got to handle a lot more pressure and a lot more abuse than an AR-15 based on the caliber.
Yeah.
With a similar rate of fire.
And how it's set up in the receiver with all those. Yes. Yeah. I get it.
So that's why they're so expensive. Now, a metric pattern receiver, $350.
What's the difference? Other than ones in metric and like they should take the same to make. So why are they $100 cheaper?
They're not the same to make. The metric or the inch pattern, you actually have to go in and mill out a certain part of the magazine well that allows you to get that fatter feed lip in there. And you're gonna have to fact check me, maybe somebody can. You can build a metric pattern kit on an inch receiver, but you cannot build an inch kit on a metric receiver. You have to buy an inch kit because of the slight variation of measurements in the threads for the barrel and the fucking magazine well. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I remember reading something about that. Something I know you can't mix and match like an inch fucking lower with a metric upper because the sights are different and all that shit.
Yeah.
But the reason I like inch receivers, and that's why I built all my shit on inch receivers, is that you can take both kind of magazines.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more expensive.
And then you could take the big 30 rounders too, and the 40 rounders.
30 rounders. There's no 40 rounders I've ever seen.
Right.
But yeah, 30 rounders. The L4A1s. Those are fun. The Bren mags. Fucking heavy. Oh my god.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're also long as shit, so.
Right.
But.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that's like.
That's just something fun to play with, yeah.
I've got a zombie horde in front of me. I've got a bunch of 308 to burn.
Do they even make like pouches for those, or were those just like pattern 37 pouches that they just?
I think they were pattern 58 for the Brits, but like,
yeah, well, it's the same exact fucking pouch. It's just a different material.
Color, it's lighter, yeah. It's but no, because those fucking L4A1 mags, those are. I should check that out in the P37s.
Yeah. So. See if they fit because they're basically the same pouch dimensions, right?
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it was funny. I've had a lot of people in like the comments when I was out shooting the FAL with the 30 round mag from the L4A1. A lot of Brits were like, "Hey, I recognize that. You know, I fucking carried the Bren, you know, and the L4A1, and it was an awesome fucking weapon."
Yeah. Well, the FAL is a fantastic rifle.
So was the L4A1. The Bren in general was.
Yeah, I don't know why the Americans decided the M14 was better.
Because America. Fucking. Oh god, that was so dumb.
I want my good marksmanship still.
Well, but it wasn't even good marksmanship with the M14. Like.
Yeah. That was one of their things, though, for not adopting the FAL. Was like, well, it doesn't have all that nice marksmanship shit.
All right, so let's use a long stroke piston.
Yeah.
Rifle that we're gonna gauge down because of our pride. No, the last marksman rifle that the United States like military and specifically Marine Corps had was the 1903.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah. For sure.
So.
But America, they still needed all that crap.
Unfortunately, no, we should have definitely gone with the FAL, hands down. Way
for sure. Well, they made some. What is it? The T1 is what the Americans called it. They made a bunch of them for testing, but
don't know.
Sorry, my neighbor's asking if he left his keys over here, which he didn't. So his meth head kid probably just took them.
Get some pills.
So for sure, yeah, he's probably like 2 or 3 days away from dying from it. So
good.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the American like T1 FAL, that's the #1 collector FAL out there.
I knew it was just a fucking matter of time. Forgotten weapons as a video. Yeah, I know they do.
Yeah, the T1 FAL.
Like, basically fucking everything, which is why he's got to start marketing differently because he's about covered fucking
pretty much everything. Yeah. I like to go watch him go on like in range though, and then Carl, a guy that doesn't know anywhere near as much about firearms as him, kicks his ass every time. Which is great. But
fucking the Cobra's back.
He's back. The M14 is not what? Better or worse?
You can't just type a fucking subject of a sentence
But I also so on my rear sights, the button is missing to adjust the sights.
For what?
It's like broke off.
On your number one Mark III?
No, on my FAL, the rear sight.
Oh, that button, the little tiny.
Yeah, the little button you use to adjust the.
Yeah. No, that you should be able to get that on Numerich.
Yeah, so like I gotta get a new rear sight. That's another thing that I noticed it was broken.
It should be like $2 or some shit though.
Yeah, so I gotta get a new button, or I gotta find a different rear sight or something, whatever I could track down. If I can get one of the cool Canadian flip-up diopter ones, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, that's an L1. Is that? Yeah, it is.
No, the Canadians had their own weird sight where they flip it up and it had a wheel that rotated.
Well, that's what my
down, and it was just down was just a battle sight, and then if you flipped it up, there's a wheel you could turn that had different, different heights in it for ranges. It was weird as shit. If I could track one of those down, that'd be sweet, but I doubt I will.
Hey, stop saying that kind of shit about Ian. Like Carl does not worship Satan. There are not pictures that are not photoshopped and on 4chan, which is a fucking cesspool of the most shitty minds in the face of the earth. Ian is not part of an Antifa gun range.
No, John, they both are just guys who like guns that live in the desert.
I should do Desert Brutality next year.
That'd be funny. That'd be a cool video series.
I don't know. I'm pretty sassy with the size of my penis. Like, I don't think I need to prove anything to anybody.
So, yeah, and we all know you can't doctor photos.
Right. I don't fucking care, AA. Like, this shit from 4chan, I don't fucking care. Like, just give it up.
I also got something cool you might want to use at some point.
It's on the front side adjustment tool for what?
It's an Enfield front side adjustment tool, yeah.
Oh, no shit.
It'll do the 14s, the 17s, the smellies, the number 4s, and the longlies.
Oh, nice.
So it's a nice machined piece of aluminum, so it works great.
Yeah, I just gonna give a shout out to the Cobra 49. Again, if you didn't watch the last stream when he popped in, he was one of the guys that promoted my channel very, very early on, like when I had 10 subscribers. Got me up to like 20, 30, 40, you know, and like way back in the day when I was just making shitty content but it was all fun. And then him and Gun Geek, that fucking Canuck, he's still around somewhere. But so yeah, if you haven't watched Koba's shit, he has a lot of good information on he's a jack of all trades, master of some, I guess. Because
does he do power tools?
No. He's I think pretty sure Koba, you're from the US, right? I'm almost positive.
I have to go to AVE for my power tool knowledge.
Yeah, I know.
Your alternate channel.
I'm AVE. I have the same fucking accent and I look the same. Oh wait, you don't know what he looks like because he's a fucking pussy and doesn't show his face on cam. So
that's not a good way to promote your alternate channel.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know how people draw that connection. You literally sound nothing like him.
I know.
Like literally nothing at all like him.
It's my voice is deeper than his. Not trying to flex, but like you know what I mean. Like it's deeper than his. I don't have anywhere near the fucking northern sister fucker Canadian accent.
No, he definitely sounds like he's from one of the like 3 Alabama territories of Canada.
Yeah, exactly. But so the Koba's from the USA. Yeah, you guys in the chat, you should check out the Koba's channel. He's pretty fucking cool about. Man, he's got a eclectic taste. He's like a more diversified and educated version of myself. If you were to give me 50. No, not even 50. 40 more years to
40 more years.
Do
you have a big, huge collection of books? That's one thing I got to work on. I got to get more fucking books. I also got to have a place to fucking put books.
Right. When I get my basement, all the books in the garage are going to come in here, and I'm going to have a fucking built-in bookshelf on one of my walls.
I definitely want a bookshelf. I got to get one bad because
I'm fucking drilled into the fucking concrete.
Yeah.
Built in.
Damn.
Fucking A.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, because it's like books are. I mean, I like internet. sources and like.
But books are definitely the best source of information out there. Still,
A.
in the whole gun community, you
I
can't
love
beat
holding a
a good
fucking
book.
book,
Yeah.
sitting in a chair, and just reading that cocksucker.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, I have that. I forget who wrote it, but I have that big, huge like novel on the Ross rifle, all the models of them, and that honestly was actually a pretty terrible read because it read more like an encyclopedia than
Yeah.
than
Well,
like
that's
a really well put together gun book where they like go over the development and
you know.
like
Well,
all
let's
that
see
other stuff.
with this German helmet lot numbers book. Like, oh shit, I didn't even show you that when you were here.
No,
Um.
I looked at it while you were out of the room though, so
Oh,
I did.
fucking with my shit while I was out of the room.
I did. Well, you didn't even notice it. I put it back right where it
Dude,
was.
trust gone. But no, but you understood, like,
Yeah,
you have to pay attention. You have to actually have
it's a lot of tiny numbers. It's just a big graph,
but you also
basically.
have to
Yeah.
have a prerequisite of like basic knowledge of what the fuck you're looking at.
Looking at,
Even
yeah.
have that thing, otherwise it looks like a code book.
Yeah, the thing looks like a goddamn phone book, like for real. Yeah.
Right. It's like
So,
a code book, like so somebody that didn't know anything would be like, what the fuck? Why did he pay like $1 even for this? It's like, well,
that's when they just go, "Yep, he's in a cult. Take him away." So, man, I wish I had a trapdoor. I've never shot a trapdoor.
neither have I actually.
I really want to get one of my dream rifles is the Snyder. Really want a Snyder.
Good luck feeding that.
It's just what is it?
577.
No. Yeah, it's just a 24 gauge shot shell though. You don't even really need to neck them down. You just got to cast the bullet, and you even hand set it into the case. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah.
No, you need to
Rob
do.
from British Muzzleloaders video on
Oh
it.
my god, I need to have Fat Monk on here because you're irritating me with this shit. He is, yeah. I definitely need to. Maybe we could have the Koba on here someday too. Koba, if you have Facebook, which I'm pretty sure you do, look up Mike B on there. Send me a message on there, and we'll get in touch, and then we'll have you on one of these streams.
For sure.
Because yeah, I do. And again, I was gonna make a video, and I'm probably still going to, about like the channels that help me actually get even noticed at all and get my first like 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Which took about a year and a half.
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Back in 2013. And but anyway, yeah, I want to do a thing with Gun Geek. He was another one.
Snyder round case is not necked. It's just a straight wall case. You could just literally hand set the bullet in it.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not like the Martini.
I'll let you load it yourself then, and then shoot it.
I will. I'll shoot it myself.
I'll stand fucking far away.
I want to get one of the ones that like. I want to get the Mark III long land pattern though, because the Mark III is the only one with a steel barrel. The other ones have iron barrels. So that's a prerequisite. I definitely want a steel barrel if I can get one. So, but I see a lot of the rarer ones, the like 2-band sergeant's like short rifles.
You're a sergeant short rifle.
A ton of those, but they're made so much less of them, so I don't know why there's no long rifles, but a ton of the little short rifles around. So yeah, I wish I could have a Beaumont Vitale as well. That'd be cool.
The one that I had to sell.
You had one?
Well, I have one now. It's sporterized, but it's got sentimental value because it was my great uncle's.
Okay, that counts. So you have one.
Yeah, no, I have one, but the one I actually made videos on this a few years ago.
Yeah.
I keep fucking burping because of the goddamn tomato sauce, but it tastes
that's a good
really
burp
good every
relief.
time. Yep. But no, so the one that I made videos on, I grabbed 5070 Sharps brass or 5090 Sharps brass, trimmed it down, fucking sized it, annealed it, did all that shit. Cast the fucking bullets, put black powder in it, primed to put black powder in it. Went out and shot it. Yeah, it was a pretty fucking sweet rifle to shoot.
Yeah.
It's about, maybe it kicks about like a 308.
Yeah. Well,
But
I mean, it's
you're
a
hurling
huge round for what it
yeah,
is.
you're
So, yeah.
hurling a fucking 480 grain fucking lead slug
Yeah.
at it.
A heavy round. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's almost a fucking ounce of lead going at like I think it was like 1100 feet per second.
That's moving for black powder. That's moving. But I also want to get a Wurndl,
Yeah.
the 11.15 by 58 millimeter rimmed black powder Wurndl tabernacle rifle, just because it's a weird
Is
contraption.
that
In
actually a
metal.
Vandal?
Huh?
Would it be a Vandal?
A Wurndl, yeah. Or depending on who made it, it could be a Holub.
Okay. I'm just wondering, like, Wurndl sounds like a German word.
Yeah. Well, it's named after a guy. So,
I don't know
and I
anything
heard
about
that
that.
the guy pronounced his name with the hard W. So,
Well, it depends on what country he was from, though.
I'm not sure what country he was from, but he did make it in Austria. So
So that'd be
that's
Vandal.
that's
Yeah.
the gun that started Steyr. So
Right, so that'd be Vandal because Austria is Germanic. They speak German.
yeah, but fair, but that's probably what they called it. But it's named after a dude.
Kong, Golden is fucking with you. Like, Golden is the one that fucking gave the $300 for us or for me to eat a serrano pepper on the live stream.
Yeah, I had to eat a discount and get sick.
Well, I got sick too. Don't
True. Yeah,
be a victim, bitch. But I threw up.
you did.
I had fucking sauce going up, or not sauce, pepper going up my nose,
Juice,
burning.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have it come out of my nose, but yeah.
Well, whenever I puke, it comes out of my nose. Like,
Yeah.
it's all the fucking. It's always the
That
same.
sounds terrible. I don't want to have vomit come out of my nose.
Every time it happens, it's like I'm just expecting it.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely, and it happens every fucking time. The acid or whatever I'm puking up goes up my nose.
I have to have like a lot of pressure built up to get it to come out of my nose. Like, even then, it normally doesn't go all the way, but like I can feel it like in my sinuses.
We heard Devin vomit on that stream. Probably I was outside, but I mean, to be fair, you were saying that you retched really loud when you puked.
I do retch really loud.
And I was retching, to be fair, too, because I had dry heaves. Because we have been outside all fucking day, hadn't been drinking enough water, dehydrated as shit.
Empty stomachs, yeah.
Yeah, empty stomachs. So, yeah, I mean, I was dry heaving outside. It wasn't probably as loud as yours, but.
No, I retch pretty loud, though.
Yeah,
sure.
it happens.
Yeah. That was a fun time, though. And we got Culvers afterwards, which is what I'm having.
I mean, dude, as soon as I bit that first bite of
Culvers,
burger, I'm like, everything's better.
Everything was instantly better, for sure. Which is why I'm so glad I have coupons.
Coupons. You got them coupons.
That's right, got my coupons.
Yeah, you got them coupons for Culvers and their frozen custard. Oh, yeah.
That's right. There's no walleye. Oh, I suppose I could have any dinner entree, but there's no walleye sandwich coupon on there.
It's great because, like, half the time in the summer you go there, they're like, due to supply, whatever.
We don't have it. Yeah, it's like, fuck you.
Next week you go there and it's back. It's like, it's that fucking local.
Yeah.
Which is amazing.
Yeah. But
God. Why are we always talking about Culver's?
Because it's the best restaurant ever.
Fast food restaurant.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, Mike's canning those peppers tomorrow?
Not the Serranos, but yeah, I'm gonna go to my folks' place who had a lot better yield in their garden because they put effort into it, and I fucking did.
They tried.
I also got really like overwhelmed, and they're like, "This shit's gonna rot because we can't do anything with it."
We have way too much of it. Well, that's a good thing when you have a garden, though.
Right, and then I picked almost 40 pounds of tomatoes yesterday and fucking spent all day canning them into some amazing, like, again, that's what I had. I had the residual of the sauce that I didn't can.
Yeah.
Tonight on fucking penne, and I put the spices, everything I told you, the tomato sauce with the onion, salt, thyme, basil, oregano. Not thyme, nope. Basil, oregano, garlic, and then just stirred up and put a little bit of red wine in there, and I put it over penne. Oh my god, it was fucking amazing.
I gotta sit down because I have all this crap because it was all my somebody my mom knew and she died. and my mom took all of it because she was going to do it, and then my mom never did it, so I ended up taking it because I was like, I'll do it. I'll plant some stuff and can some things, and then I just never sat down and did it. So I have like jars and lids and the big fucking pot and all of it. I just have to sit down and
Yeah, I'll have to. We'll have to like talk, on a Skype chat or some shit for me to tell you what everything is and like if it's okay and not, and how to sterilize it and all that shit. Because
yeah.
my grandma taught me how to do all this shit. My
Like
mom,
I have jars like still in the like plastic, like
yeah,
just
but you still
Saran
have to
wrap.
sterilize them, and I'll tell
Yeah,
you, yeah, like
but
there's a lot of nuances to canning.
yeah, I got
Yeah,
a box of golf wax from 1974.
you don't need that for canning.
Yeah, but I still have one. It was part of
Yeah,
all the shit. So
but no, yeah, we'll do that sometime, and I'll teach you how to can, and then maybe actually we could do another little visit, a little road trip for you, and come down
you got
here,
on a
get
video.
some shit, and I'll teach you how to can, like, and what you need for water bathing stuff. You need a pressure canner, but they're all fucking sold out, and I guarantee you don't have one of those.
That's the thing, and it's got the like clamp on lid and it has a little valve on it.
A gauge, yeah,
Yeah, I have one.
okay, that's a good thing to have.
It's old as shit.
Doesn't
So,
matter if it works, it
yeah,
works.
fair. So yeah, that was part of it.
Cool. All right.
So yeah, I got it all. I just gotta now. I just have to grow shit.
Get the fuck out of the city.
Well, this is the thing. I have a huge fucking so right over there. I have a huge fucking window with like a big base.
Not enough for canning. Not at all.
No. I'm not expecting this for like canning, but my building management says I'm not supposed to have plants, but I'm gonna plant some plants and keep them there all winter anyways. They're right next to the radiator, so they'll be warm. They'll get
Yep.
plenty of sunlight still, so then I could at least have like a spice garden.
Yeah, you're gonna spices and dry them, but if you're gonna get okay, yesterday I showed you I got 7 quarts, right, of tomato
Yeah,
sauce. I used almost 40 pounds of tomatoes to get that.
yeah.
You know, you know how many 40 pounds of tomatoes? That's
40
like
pounds I assume it's like 40 pounds of feathers. It's 40 pounds.
right, but it's a lot of tomatoes to pick off a
Yeah,
plant. A lot of plants and all that shit. And to be fair, some breeds are bigger than others, like the Hungarian paste. I'm not
yeah.
gonna give you my total recipe of like how I made
No.
the best
So,
sauce.
like, I had 7 tomato plants on my deck last year,
And it
and
would be
they
worth
made
the
way
big sauce.
more tomatoes than I could ever use. I don't need to have 20 quarts of the shit, but
No,
if I
7
could make
tomato.
2 or 3 jars a year, that'd be fine with me.
Eh, 2 or 3
I'm
jars.
one person. Mike, I'm one damn
Yeah, but
person.
3 jars out of 365 days, like
It's more of a hobby than to, like, actually be relying on it.
but if you say you cook as much as you do and you're as good at it, you'd need tomato sauce. That'd be a staple of a lot of recipes.
Yeah,
So if you're gonna do 3 jars a year, that's not even worth the fucking time and the money you spend on the canning equipment.
I didn't spend any money.
Most of the time, it's not worth it. Like
Well, the time is just like I said, it's just something to do.
but
Something to learn, something to
one,
practice,
yeah.
and then when I do have stuff later, I can have a bigger garden. But this can be like practice to figure it out.
All
And
right.
then I can have on special occasions have good pasta sauce that I made myself.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, but when you actually do it and you realize the amount of work that goes into it, you're gonna be like 3 jars, not worth it.
Well, I don't expect to quite enjoy it, yeah, but it's something I want to learn how to do. I'd rather learn how to do it and not
We'll do
enjoy
that.
it
We'll do that. We'll
than
do that.
enjoy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll do that, and we'll
See,
next.
Sean gets it. Devin always wants to work, regardless of what it is. See that?
Well, I didn't mention the preparation before you even get to the tomato part of all the fucking equipment. I didn't mention the cleanup. The cleanup sucks for that little bit of tomatoes. The cleanup, you're going to be cleaning up as long as you are canning. Like
That's fine.
You can't do anything else though. It's fucking ridiculous.
I can sit down for a whole week if I need to.
Well, how would you work then?
I'll just be on vacation that week.
Oh.
It's doable.
Yeah, I'll teach you how to can.
Yeah, I gotta learn how to do it because, like I said, I've had all the shit for years. I just haven't.
Right, and if you got a pressure canner, we can expand on doing basically anything like soup.
Yeah, so
we could pre-make soup.
I always wanted to like do pickles. Awesome pickles.
Like cucumber pickles?
Yeah, like pickles. Yeah,
Fuck yeah! I didn't grow them this year. I got seeds for next year.
but
I'm gonna be pickling like a fucking madman
yeah,
next
because
year.
I want to just making like just awesomely spicy pickles would be like the shit.
Well,
Like,
here's the thing: is I'm gonna grow dill. I'm gonna
yeah,
go dill right next to the cucumbers because they actually complement each other. They're one of those plants.
yeah.
And dill is a fucking weed, which is amazing because it just keeps
You
growing.
don't need to like take care of it or anything.
No.
It just,
And
yeah,
then you pick the fucking dill. You get a giant head. You cut that fucker off, and that's one batch of pickles. You've got enough dill for. And you get
yeah.
your pickles, and you pick them young.
Mm-hmm.
The thing,
And they're little, and I want them to be really crunchy. Like that's what
yes.
I really like in
Well,
a
the thing
pickle. I
is
like
like,
them to be crunchy. Soggy pickles disappoint me.
oh my god! And then people they pick them too late because they're bigger. It's like, dude, you need to pick
Yeah,
them.
but they're mush on the inside.
They're 3 to 5 inches. 5 is being very liberal with that term
Yeah,
or that definition. Like 3 to 5 inches, they have to have the warts on them and they have to have the little spines on them. They have to be super hard, dark green. You pick the fucking spines off of them, and then you pickle them, and they're fucking crunchy.
mm-hmm.
They're amazing. And you can do fermented pickles like the old style barrel
Yeah.
pickles.
Where you
Okay?
just have like salt and water.
Right, but you have to cover it and you have to scrape the mold and shit off every couple weeks, and they don't keep as long. Or you could do fucking pickles like I've always been taught, like farmhouse pickles, where you put them in a brine of vinegar, salt, and then whatever spices you like.
Yeah.
I just like dill and garlic and vinegar,
Yeah.
salt, and or mustard seed too. Mustard seed is
Mustard seeds are fantastic in pickles. Yes, for
yep.
sure.
And so that, and then you actually go through and you can them, so they're preserved and they keep
Yep.
for fucking years.
Forever,
And they're
like a decade. Yeah.
And also, there's a key ingredient. I'm not going to say it on here. You have
Okay.
to be part of my Discord, and I'm going to tell you later. There's a secret ingredient that will make crunchy pickles even more crunchy,
I want to know that. Crunchy pickles are the best pickles.
and it's super fucking cheap,
Is
and
it
it's
dirt?
natural, and it won't hurt you. No.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's
Maybe
and I
can
got
we throw a little dirt in there just for seasoning?
no, but I've got like I've got some of it coming tomorrow, and then I'm gonna make pickled jalapenos and banana peppers tomorrow.
That sounds pretty good.
Fuck yeah, I'm
I
gonna cut
gotta-
into rings.
I gotta see if I can talk to my friend's dad about possibly getting if he could just tell me what the ingredients are of his spicy pickle recipe, so I can try to make my own. If he just tells me,
Is it a sweet?
I don't want his amounts. I don't want to ruin his recipe.
Yeah, but no, is it a sweet or a dill base?
I'm not sure. It's spicy and it's like vinegary, but
like dill pickles are more vinegar. Like bread and butter,
Yeah.
like the sweet pickles are sweet.
no, they're not sweet.
Okay, so they're spicy dills. That's fucking easy, dude.
Yeah,
I know exactly what he did.
but I want his specific recipe though, because
Right, his ratio and all that shit.
Perfect.
But I'm sure with what he did, he doesn't have a ratio because I fucking wouldn't either. It'd just be a guesstimate. But I know exactly what he
just
did.
kind of eyes it, yeah, but
But no,
he changes it all the time and he's tweaking it all the time.
no, it's one ingredient and it's not that complicated. You can actually
Oh
see
no,
it.
I've watched him make them. He's got like fucking jars and jars and jars of the shit that he uses.
Uh-huh. It's dude, honest to God, to make spicy dill pickles, not that hard. To get it
Good, I'm gonna
perfect.
be upset.
Well, you're gonna make them, and I'm gonna tell you what the ingredient is.
Fair.
I mean, I don't want to fuck over anybody's secret on here, which is why I'm not gonna do it for people that don't
that's
know.
why I want to talk to him. He does put a lot of shit in his spicy pickles, but they turn out really fucking good, and that's why I want to. And he gets them crunchy, but they're still pretty large, and
Yeah.
so I'd kind of, if he's willing to share. If he's not, I totally understand, but that'd be sweet.
Yeah, no, pickles. So next year we should
Do pickles.
well, you know what we should do? We should do I should make a second fucking channel is what I should do.
Yeah, for food. You said you were gonna do that for a long time.
No, not for food, just like my personal shit, not military or whatever related, just kind of whatever. Because no, I want to come down. I want you to come down here, and I want to teach you how to actually garden.
Yeah.
And the conversation we had earlier when I got pissed off, I said you don't know how to garden because you don't, and it takes It takes so many fucking years to learn. I've been learning since I
Yeah,
was
I only know how
4.
to industrial farm. That's
Right.
not the same. Yeah.
And my grandma started teaching me, and my mom, to be fair, but like mostly when I was a kid, my grandma, from the time I was like 4-ish, has been teaching me how to garden effectively,
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
And she died in 2013, but my mom also paid attention and knows a lot of the canning part of what my grandma did, which is
Yeah.
very good because I've never been sick off that shit, knock on wood.
Yet. Yeah.
Dude, no, people,
I've
oh
been
my
sick off
God.
some canned stuff before. Like somebody gives you something.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why
And
I rarely, I'm super hesitant when somebody gives me something canned.
yeah. Well, I
And,
mean, I'll still eat it, but I've
yeah,
definitely had some stuff where it's like, ooh,
but
it's
I've
not
never
sitting
been
right.
sick off anything that we've canned because we always go a little bit over the top with the precautions,
Yeah, the cleaning and everything. Yeah.
the cleaning and the time in there. And
Mhm.
so, okay, last night when I was making tomato sauce, so back in the day, you could can tomatoes and they were acidic enough to just be able to water bath them, which is 212 degrees, which is what I did last night. That's just
Yeah.
boiling water. That's not the pressure canner.
Yeah.
That's boiling water and boiling these jars with the contents at 212 degrees for X amount of minutes. Okay. But in recent years, since like the 70s, for whatever reason, even though they're growing the same amount or the same strain of tomatoes that have been grown, the heirloom tomatoes,
Yeah.
the acidity levels dropped like 5 to 10%.
Weird.
So when you do that and you cook sauce down, in order to make it super safe, you should add
You
at
have to add
least
some acidity back to it.
2 tablespoons of lemon juice, straight up lemon juice, like 5%,
Yeah.
uh, per quart, 1 per pint. This is the FDA's like guidelines. I know I dissed the FDA earlier,
Yeah.
but like
The FDA.
the FDA on
Y'all.
that kind of shit is going to be over the top safe because they don't want to be fucking held liable
Yeah.
if too many things get fucked up. So 2 tablespoons of lemon juice, real lemon juice per quart, and I put in a little bit more. I put like 2.5 in per quart of tomato
Yeah.
sauce.
Just because you like that flavor profile better or
No,
something.
no,
Yeah.
it actually doesn't change the flavor profile. It just makes it more acidic.
Yeah.
And so I have to go let the dog out in a second because he's being a fucking asshole and whining.
The weasel
Um,
horse.
yeah, the weasel horse. But so that's what I did, and then I can it for about 5 to 10 minutes more, or I boil it rather
Yeah.
5 to 10 minutes more than what it calls for, just because. And
That added heat and that acidity is going to help kill everything.
well, it's not added heat. It's 212 degrees is what it gets up to. That'll kill most bacteria in like a simple acidic solution, like pickling or
Yeah.
tomatoes or something like that. Or if you're canning fucking lemons for whatever reason, shit like that. Now, for non-acidic shit like green beans, right, with salt and
Yeah.
water, you need a pressure canner because that will actually get the shit in the jars up to 222 degrees
The
Fahrenheit.
internal contents is higher than boiling. Yeah, which will kill
Right,
everything.
exactly, and it will kill like 99.9% of shit. That's why you need a pressure canner for anything that's not acidic or pickled. And it's even good to do pickled stuff in a pressure canner
Yeah.
and acidic
Well, I
stuff.
mean, if it's just a pot without the lid on it, it's just still a pot. Yeah.
Right, and that's the thing is like you can water bath a bunch of shit, but yeah, it's just I like to be super safe with that kind of shit. And
Yeah.
I've
Well,
eaten,
it
I've
keeps
eaten
you from getting sick because,
right,
like, yeah.
and I've eaten stuff at my parents' place that I helped can in like 2012, and we ate it in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
Still
Just
tastes
fine. Yeah.
as fresh as the day we fucking canned it
Yeah.
because I mean, there's a lot of effort. It's a lot of tedious shit involved with canning, like a process that you cannot fuck up. It's like
Yeah.
step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You
You have
have
to follow it very strict. Yeah.
yep. But when you do, the product is consistent and it's safe. Or in my experience,
Yeah. Well, I
you know,
mean, other people could be doing that stuff too, but anything can happen though as well.
yeah, and
Have a
that's
bad seal on something or whatever,
well, that's the thing is
and
I check my seals too. And was weird as last night I pulled out and I gotta let the dog out. I
right.
pulled out the cans and usually they take with the pressure canner they're hotter, but no, I pulled out the cans last night after X amount of minutes of boiling them, The timer went off. I pulled them out, threw them on the cloth on the island, and immediately it was you could hear them fucking sealing.
Sucking down, yeah.
Yep. And that's how you know you got a good seal, and they weren't even fucking cool yet. So it's like those fuckers are sealed,
They're
good seal.
good, yeah.
And then I always check them. I take the rings off to store them.
Yeah.
And I always check. I go 360 degrees on every lid to hear if I go. It's like, well, I'm going to use you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You didn't seal, but if you do a couple things that my grandma taught me, you never have to worry about that because I've actually got a 100% track record of never having to find a fucked up seal. And it's so fucking. Oh, I saw like one of those ads. This one food will help you burn fat. Well, I want to say
one thing will help you keep from getting food poisoning.
Right, botulism actually, and
there you go. Botulism's good.
Yeah, but it's. I want to say that for if we make a couple videos on the canning process because, gardening is a bitch. Most of it's just eating. Well, no, actually, that's not true. A lot of it's.
I like kind of tedious work like that.
But a lot of
just taking apart my guns to clean them for fun. So.
Dude, but up here in our climate, you have to have space in your place with good light, or you have to get artificial light to start the seedlings for like tropical plants like tomatoes and peppers and tobacco and all that shit. So you have to start that shit in early March. It takes up space. It stinks. You have to.
Yeah, I've never had like a garden, but like I just put everything in 5-gallon buckets, and then it's all by itself. It's real easy to maintain. It's way off the ground, so I don't get any weeds growing in it.
Yeah, that's urban gardening.
Yeah, that's different than like planting a garden because my environment's so controlled at that point that, yeah.
And it's also you're not going to get your full yield.
No, because the nutrition and the water and everything, the soil eventually loses everything as it goes on through the year. And
and it's not natural soil either. It's not naturally. It doesn't have years of fucking breakdown. It's processed and it's filled with these nutrients that these companies put in.
Well, normally I just go down to the farm and I'll fill up some dirt, but it's not like I'm buying potting soil.
I'll get on the topic of tobacco when I get back. Yes, I did grow my own. Yes, I made my own cigars. Yes, they were fucking amazing. I have to let the puppy out.
Yeah, I've grown a lot of stuff in a 5-gallon bucket before, but like a 5-gallon bucket's easy because like I love when they like the hardware stores put like the 5-gallon bucket things on sale, and I'll go pick up like some nails and some bolts and screws and nuts and stuff like that, and then you get like whatever in the bucket for whatever amount of money, and then you get to keep the bucket too. And then I'll oftentimes just buy a couple of those fucking tomato supports, the big wire ones, and then you just put like 5 blaze orange 5-gallon buckets outside on the deck, and I put them right underneath my gutters leak, so I'll just rotate them out underneath the gutter where it leaks, and they get enough water that way and stuff like that. And I basically just grow tomatoes, and I'd love to have a little spice garden, like I said, that I could put along the sliding glass door there. And it's real easy. So it's just growing tomatoes is like you just buy a packet of seeds at like Target or Walmart when they put them up in the spring. And you could buy a bag of Miracle-Gro or just go find a spot that has some like nice black dirt and fill up your bucket and plant your seeds in there and throw your frame in there and then just leave it outside in the sun. So you get plenty of tomatoes. And if you live in a place that's warm enough all year, they'll garden all year. And if you need to, you could just add liquid fertilizer back into the dirt. So a couple times a year, and that's all you need. So, but also like if I'm growing 5 tomato plants, I'm a single person. I mean, 5 tomato plants produces more tomatoes than I could ever eat. I usually have like 2 Roma tomatoes, and I'll have like 2 heirloom tomatoes because I like how big they are, and other stuff like that. And that one kind of random thing that I'll try, some new kind of tomato, and that's about it. I grow 5 buckets of tomatoes, and I could never eat all of the Roma tomatoes those two plants produce ever. So to the point where I'm giving them to my neighbors and I'm throwing them down on the ground so the fucking squirrels can eat them and shit. Like I have way more tomatoes than I could ever fucking eat. So I really don't know, but like I thought that I was on the right track with the whole genetically modified thing because like technically if you're growing two plants together in a lab, that's modifying them, but like on purpose, you know what I mean? But what can you do? It depends because tobacco needs certain kind of nutritions in its soil, and most tobacco kind of likes a warmer, more humid environment. So you got to do some research on that. What's good for your soil where you are and stuff like that.
Holy
And
fuck, there's that many people talking about tobacco.
yeah, people like to smoke, Mike. It's good for you.
Yep. I've actually had a cigarette in about 3 months now.
I think I went outside to smoke 15 times in the 4 hours I was home yesterday.
Yeah, but you smoke a pipe.
I do smoke a pipe, yeah.
You're not inhaling.
Sometimes, just because I can. Yeah. So just because I can.
Well, it was funny because like I had met some people reenacting that were from Tennessee and Kentucky, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm growing tobacco," and they're like, "What?" Because I told them where I was from. They obviously knew, and they're
Yeah.
like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm growing tobacco this year." And they're like, "It's not going to grow," and I'm like, "Bullshit! I've grown it before. I just didn't pay enough attention to it. Now I'm going to." And so I weeded it. I took care of it. They got the fucking worms, of course, late stage. But
Yeah.
so I was taking like pictures the whole year, and I think it was 2016, where I was fucking just like going stage by stage. I'm like, it's growing just fine. And I'm like, we have one growing season. We don't have three.
Yeah, for sure. Well, down there where it's hot and humid and they can tend the soil all year and everything, yeah. But you
Right.
can get it to grow here, for sure.
And I grew it, and as it was, maturing, I was curing it. I was single curing it, where it was a small batch where I could pop a fucking wire through the bottom of each stem and just hang it upside down instead of curing the whole plant at once.
Yeah.
And
You just get it as the individual parts get to their
yeah, and it
maturity.
was humid. It was pretty humid that year. This year would have been a great year to grow tobacco. My God.
Yeah, it
But
would have been fantastic. It was so fucking like hot and
yeah,
humid and
I have to get the seeds from my folks, and you have to start them really early. But
really, really early, yeah.
anyway, I grew it, and I learned how to roll cigars like the old school way, how to select the leaves before the presses and everything, like the old fucking school way. There's a video
Like
on YouTube.
entirely by hand, just like on
Yeah,
the
just
surface.
type
Yeah.
in cigar rolling old school or fucking whatever. It's there. There's this dude that has like the pre-Columbus kind of rolling style, and so I did that with my tobacco that I grew.
Yeah.
I took the kind of shittier leaves that had more holes in them from bugs and whatever, and that was the filler. Okay, and then I used the second worst leaves, I guess, as the wrapper or the binder, sorry, to
Yep.
bind them together into the actual cigar. And then you use the nicest looking leaf as the wrapper, right?
Yep. To finish it.
No,
Yeah.
no presses, no nothing, and you check the airflow. You hold. There's a trick to it. It's not just that easy. You have to hold everything a
Yeah.
certain way and wrap it a certain way. But I definitely I rolled one for me and my neighbor who likes cigars at the time, and we both lit it up, and we were both just like, "Wow, it was just fucking good," you know.
Yeah. What kind of tobacco? I probably asked you this last time you talked. What
Yeah,
kind
it
did you
was
grow?
it was a Kentucky Burley,
Okay.
or I
For
think.
sure.
Well, hold on. Yeah, it was Kentucky Burley. It was a tall plant. It wasn't one of the like bush
It
tobacco
wasn't
plants,
like the Virginia longleaf where it's fucking massive, but it's short.
but it's short. Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
wasn't a bush. It was a fucking stalk.
Yeah. That's like how the Canadian stuff is too. It's really tall and the leaves are kind of smaller on it. Yeah.
No, these leaves were fucking massive. They were probably about like fucking 12 inches wide and 24 inches long.
You could almost confuse the Canadian tobacco plant for a hemp plant at a distance.
Hemp? Those leaves are fucking tiny.
Yeah, but it's got little narrow pointy leaves that grow off of just like a stalk. Yeah. It's
The Canadian
weird.
one?
Yeah, Canadian tobacco, yeah. It's got little skinny pointy leaves.
Well, Turkish tobacco is more skinny, but it's still not like pot. It's not like fucking tiny. It's just more skinny, but yeah.
Yeah. I like Turkish tobacco. I like that flavor the best.
I think Camel got it right. I think I like American and Turkish combined.
Yeah.
For a cigarette. I don't know about a cigar.
Yeah. Well,
but for a cigarette, Turkish and American. 'Cause American's really fucking bold.
It is.
It's a sassy goddamn tobacco.
For sure.
So you saw tobacco plants that were 3 to 4 feet tall. Mine were 7 to 8 feet tall.
Some of them get real. Yeah,
it depends on the fucking species of them.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I literally saw the ones that I grew. I took the healthiest plant and I kept the seeds. Which, Jesus Christ, for one plant you get probably 1 million seeds, and I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah, well, they're like a sunflower almost. They just
no,
they're a fuck ton of seeds. Yeah,
they're poppy seeds. Like that's the size of it, and they come in pods. Okay, so oof.
And when those pods open up, they're just everywhere.
There's about 10,000 per pod, and they've got like 100 pods per plant when they seed out.
Yeah.
So it's like Jesus Christ. So yeah, I mean, America, tobacco is why this country exists.
Yeah, it was literally except for certain parts of it are, but.
What are you talking about? The ones that were like hemp is the reason that no.
Before each colony was like its own thing, they were all set up for different purposes. Like a lot of people don't know this. Georgia's purpose, you know what Georgia's purpose was? To grow silk. They were gonna plant a whole bunch of mulberry trees there and make a bunch of silk, but it didn't quite work out because winter.
Mm.
Yeah, and like Rhode Island was set up initially just for religious freedom, not to actually have a purpose other than religious freedom. And
okay, your interpretation of early American history is very interesting. You must learn that in Canada, right?
That wasn't America at that point.
Yeah, no, that's you're close, but not quite fucking there. Maryland, specifically Baltimore,
was
an area that the Brits could send the Irish because they didn't fucking want them around.
Yeah,
because they were Catholic, and it wasn't a place for religious freedom. That's what they told the Irish.
No, Rhode Island is literally set up by Quakers to escape a religious oppression in Britain.
And it didn't work. Because it was so fucking close to the fucking...
I think they were part of Connecticut initially, and then them and someone else had a problem and they split, yeah.
It didn't work.
Yeah.
So, Maryland, the reason it's so far south is because they were like, if you're Catholic and Irish, you can go there. It's great.
You can get away from everybody, yeah.
Don't go farther south, though, because that's Virginia. We own that. We're growing tobacco there.
That's right. And in Georgia, we're trying to make silkworms because fuck China.
That was maybe something that was like 5 years, but no, Georgia, it was like, that was an expansion down southward, and they were like, we can still grow tobacco down here.
Yep.
Initially, it was on the coast.
Didn't work out, yeah, for sure.
But it was on the coast initially. Like, here's the thing: is people don't understand the only reason like the colonists started moving west is because they settled like from Virginia on down, or southern Maryland, Virginia, basically DC on down.
Virginia on down. Basically.
Down, they only were settled like what was it, a few hundred miles inland total.
Yeah, they didn't cross the Appalachian Mountains, so.
Right, and so they were growing tobacco, which tobacco, if you think corn takes a lot of nutrients, if you think fucking...
That was the original cash crop of America, yeah.
But takes a lot of nutrients out of the soil. Tobacco...
It does.
Depletes the fucking soil of nitrogen completely.
Yes.
Completely fucking deteriorate.
So they had to constantly be moving to new ground, yeah.
But they didn't know that at first, so their first couple of years, they're like, holy shit, this crop grows
fantastic, yeah.
This fucking well here. Oh my god, we're good. We'll just plant it again next year. Well, the crop was about half as good. And then all of a sudden, it's like, well, we didn't make quite as much, but we made an okay amount. We can do this. And the next year they grew it or tried to, and it didn't work. And all of a sudden they're fucking like, oh shit, we're screwed. Well, let's move west.
Yep.
So they move west and they go, oh, we found new land. And the tobacco grows here.
Yep.
Excellent.
And then they just rotate plots of land. Yep.
No, they didn't rotate. They didn't understand that whole thing back then. They didn't understand crop rotation. That's why they kept moving west. Is because they were like, we have to go farther inland because this soil's fucked. Something's wrong with it, you know?
Yeah.
And so they kept moving west and west and west, and then that's how the United States initially expanded. Was
And then
because
they got scalped by the Indians.
Yep.
So scalped by the damn Indians.
Scoped. But yeah, cash crop, man. Fucking tobacco. And that was the drug of the day. Like, you think about it.
That and tea.
Yeah, you get psyched out by tea. You take another stimulant, nicotine, with tobacco. And
caffeine and nicotine, yeah. And
sure.
then they're gonna go out and they're gonna spend $500 on a handful of peppercorns.
Yeah. Well, yeah. At that point, yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So the rich person can use one peppercorn for a whole dinner, and
yep.
That was almost too spicy.
God damn.
God, back in the day. God. Like, who was that guy that was in charge of like all of the Dutch East Indies and basically the king of all the spice trade?
Yeah, at first, I don't know. Yeah.
Jan, I think his name's Jan Peterzoon. Jan Koen? Jan Peter? I don't know. I don't know if we have any Dutch people watching. He was a piece of shit. So,
well, duh, yeah. Like, here's the thing.
He wiped out one island for like mace because they wouldn't take it for him. So he killed all of them and then brought people from another island to harvest it.
What irritates me is that the Brits always get shit for the East India Trading Company, right?
Oh my God, the Brits treated people so fucking nice compared to like the Portuguese and the Dutch and the Belgians. Yeah.
The Dutch were the fucking worst out of all four of those fucking countries that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
The Dutch started it, A. They started it.
Yeah.
B. No rights at all recognized, enumerated. No fucking way. And it's like, but here's the thing:
think of all the mace and nutmeg, Mike.
The nutmeg, yes, the nutmeg mace. but here's the thing:
if they have rights, James Townsend wouldn't have a channel right now.
Right, and well, it's actually John, James's son.
Yeah, James.
But anyway, it's funny how everybody's like, "Oh, the Brits started slavery." Actually, the Dutch did.
The Dutch did, yeah.
The Dutch went down to the fucking colonies or wanna colonies that they had at that point. And they're talking to the local warlords like, "Hey, you got a bunch of guys in custody? You want to sell them to us?"
They literally took slaves from Africa to Indonesia to pick spice.
Right, and they were like, "Do you want to sell them to us for some labor?" And the Africans, the warlords, are like, "We don't have to feed them anymore, and we get money for it." Absolutely.
That's
or
right.
however the fuck you say it in Dutch.
You're the captain now.
And so it's like that's what started that shit.
Yeah, the Dutch started the slave trade for sure.
Right, because
they also had the slave trade like a lot longer than any other.
Oh God, yeah. But no, we don't. They legalize weed, brah. They legalized weed. Everything.
Yeah, and now they're all about environmental.
Fuck America! You had slaves at one point, and all.
Yeah, but the only reason they do is because did you know that the first slaves that were brought there, that were actually like black, were to like New York, which
they didn't like it because they got diseases really quick. They got diseases. Yeah, well, no, it was New Amsterdam at that point.
Yeah.
It was, and then they didn't like them because they got diseases really quick and died because they weren't at all familiar with the
first people trying to mass send slaves to America were the Dutch.
And they were more expensive because it costs more money. Yep. And I mean, it's fucked up because we're talking about human lives here, right? But like the way they thought about it was like monetarily only. It's like, well, that was not cost effective. Indentured servants at this point from England and Ireland are cheaper
Yep.
and they do the same
Get
amount of
the
work.
Irish to do it. They're resistant to everything.
Right, and they're not as susceptible to diseases that we're used to.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and then so the Africans that came over here who owned land, because here's the thing: is people don't understand the country was actually not racist at all.
No, like
in the early years, because
people owned a lot of property and had rights to vote,
and they also owned white slaves, indentured servants, and there's literally court records you can go back and look at.
Yeah. Well, the oldest record of a slave being brought to America is a black man bringing his black slave.
No, I get that, but like, so there's records of black slave, or slave owners, black people,
yeah,
because they weren't technically slaves. You know what I mean? Like, I misspoke. So
indentured
black people owning indentured servants who were white from Britain or England, or I'm sorry, Ireland, who there was one who he got into. No, that was a different one. But anyway, there's court cases where they go, my slave ran away and stayed with this family. They provided them. They knew they were an indentured servant. All that shit. I want to sue them for the costs that I incurred. And the black guy won. The black person won. And so then there was another one where a black property owner who was never a slave sued another property owner who was white.
Yep.
Because the black guy's black slave who he owned ran over to the white person's property and sought refuge, and they took him in, and he sued them in court. And you can look this up.
And he won.
The black guy won because it was his property at that point. Now, this is not even touching on the human rights violation that is slavery.
Yep.
Which we can all agree is fucked up. But I'm just saying, like,
I mean, is it though? Look at how much money we got out of it.
Right. But no, so it's like,
think of the nutmeg, Mike.
But nowadays, people, they're talking about like this movement that I'm not even going to mention because I don't want to get fucking taken down, is using this historical, we've been slaves since the 1600s. Well, yeah, but in very, very fucking small numbers compared to indentured servants. And then when indentured servitude
sold by your own people.
But when indentured servitude became illegal in Great Britain, right?
Yeah.
I forget what year.
Owned the Americas at that time, yeah.
Right, so it's like, shit, how are we going to get basically slave labor? Well, the Africans are more expensive, but that's all we've got at this point.
It's the only option we have, to keep everything running, or we'll go.
So what are they going to do? And it's like, again, to modern standards, that's completely and epically fucked up.
Yeah, but they also, at that time, Mike, weren't people.
Well, again, you can't insert modern ideologies, morals, and just thought processes on something in the past. You can't do that. And you could have your opinion being that is fucked up. Like, that is, but like,
historically, they didn't speak the same language. They weren't from the same place. They didn't own rights. They didn't have any money. They weren't humans.
And it was the way it was. And then when people say I'm progressive, I'm like, well, I actually see progress as, it is illegal and frowned upon completely to own another human being. That's good progress.
We definitely got a lot better. So.
And then giving people rights and all that shit. Not saying that, people are perfect. There's always going to be fuck ups, but in the United States today, people have it
pretty good.
Way fucking better than a lot of people have had it in history. Most people have had it in history, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. Easily, hands down. Like, this country may be losing its freedom at an alarming rate, but it's still the freest, best nation on the planet.
And that's sad, but like, it's, I think people, the narrative is, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm very scatterbrained right now. Hold on. I don't think trying to use that narrative of since the 1600s, black people have been oppressed.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a fair argument because you actually don't know history. And yes, I understand what happened.
Yep.
Duh. The slavery continued for a long time.
Yep.
And also, not everybody beat slaves like it's portrayed in the movies, which...
No. But, like, even if you go back to, like, ancient times before America was a thing, Africa was it was actually a quite united and vastly powerful part of the world for a long period of time, and people don't realize that. A huge part of the trade routes like
Right.
that went through Anatolia and everything like that. A lot of crap was coming from Africa.
Yep.
So, and they were what was that one guy who was the king of something or other? He was basically in charge of all of northern Africa at that point, and he went on vacation into Egypt, and he just gave away so much gold that he crashed the fucking economy in Egypt.
I don't know.
He's a super super rich guy, yeah, and the Mali Empire. Dan got it. He was in charge of it, and yeah, he went on vacation. He was invited to Egypt at one point, ancient Egypt, and he crashed the economy. He just gave away so much gold. He had so much gold.
Huh.
He crashed the entire Egyptian economy, which is one of the most powerful ancient civilizations at that time. Crashed it with how much money he had, and people don't realize that they were one of the most powerful continents at one point in time, and they had
Oh yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So
And you know what happened to them? They became something happened. We don't know.
They got colonized.
Well, no, even before
that.
that.
You're right. You're right. They got civilized.
No, they became tribalistic again.
They did become tribalistic again. Well, like every empire kind of descends and falls, and then a bunch of smaller ones rise up and take its place. And
that's what I fear.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about modern shit, but like again, I've never been actually I have been, but like recently, the past couple of years, I'm not a proponent of history repeats itself. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. History doesn't repeat itself at all. Fucking Christ.
No, it doesn't. We're never going to have another revolution where we're shooting each other with muskets.
And even if we were, we'd have this shit to do it with.
Yeah.
I'm live streaming this fucking line battle. Oh shit. 34 out of 100 of them went down. Check this out.
You know, it would be cool if they did have that thing though where like you could go spectate a war. Like how they used to back in the day.
Well, you got drones now.
Yeah. It'd be cool to like get the family to get back before there was like power and stuff. You like get the family together and you go out to like Gettysburg and you just sit on the hill and have a picnic while they're just like artillery shelling each other and you know,
thousands of people are dying or wounded and you hear that big boom. Oh, that was a volley. Yeah, that means hundreds of guys are dying right now.
Yeah, but there's nothing better to watch. I mean, it's not like ABC exists.
That's a really fucking terribly excellent point, though.
Yeah, they're literally like they would like get their families together and like go have a picnic on the hill and watch the Civil War happen. Like that was a thing for a long time. So
God damn, that's like the fucking media.
Yeah, anyway, they would go and just be like, "See that kid there, Sonny boy? That's history happened right there. Now eat all your sandwich, and we're gonna go home and try to not die of cholera."
Speaking of sandwich, so when you said that, it made me think of egg salad, which I'm been craving lately, and I'm gonna make tomorrow. And also, did you see the pickled eggs I made?
I did see your pickled eggs. Yeah,
dude, they're gonna be fucking fantastic.
I enjoy a good pickled egg for sure.
I want to perfect the recipe. I didn't use real dill, which I feel bad about, but I use freeze dried dill. We'll see.
Yeah, fresh dill would probably be better, but if freeze dried turns out well, why not?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, fucking pickled eggs, man. Like, ooh.
Pickled eggs are great, but pickled anything is pretty much great. I don't think I've had anything bad that's been pickled.
Yeah, honestly, I can't say it.
Like, I can't say that I've ever had anything bad that's been pickled. So.
Yeah, me either. Like, yeah, I know it's 480p.
It's getting real choppy and laggy here now. I don't know why, but
give me a compliment. 480. Yeah, that's.
Well, that's bad because mine's 480. My webcam's 480.
I'm aware.
Yeah, but, so Mike is substantially lower than that even.
These pickled eggs are gonna be good. I'll save
I
you
don't
one.
know
If
if
they're
I
good,
do
I'll save you
pickled
one of each.
chocolate. Pig's feet, yeah, pig's feet are awesome.
I haven't had
Get
them.
in there and you just gnaw on some bones and some cartilage and stuff. Why not?
Yeah, I don't like cartilage.
You don't like cartilage? Oh god, I love like gristle and steaks and crap like that too. Oh god, is it so good?
Yeah.
You just get
You
to
know,
like chew on it a bit. Ah,
yeah. I was also never that poor growing up, so.
well, I was. So I definitely was.
Right why I said that. Ha 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 ha. Now
So
you can flex your fucking your victimhood and your fucking what the hell is
no,
it?
it was
What do you call it?
fantastic. I definitely learned to appreciate what I had and all the real
Oh, yeah.
good food that won't make me sick and like waking up every day and you know how awesome it is to go in and fucking have a flush toilet in heat. That's fantastic. You know what I mean? And like people take this all for
Oh,
granted now. So I mean that sounds really depressing, but like I flushing the toilet puts like the biggest fucking dopiest smile on my face. It's not even funny. Like just having that and like going
that's
over to
very
the
cute.
sink and getting tap water. Do you know how awesome that is? Yeah.
Yeah. So my
But
privilege ass. Well, I'm so privileged now that I had fucking running water and you know flush with. I should just go
it
riot.
definitely
I'm gonna
made
go
me
fucking.
appreciate it.
Just fucking. I'm gonna go riot. I'm so privileged.
We can't
So
even
I'm gonna
see
take
what
other
you're
people's
doing.
privilege away because.
You're so
Are you
intermittent and
serious?
choppy with your audio and your video.
All right. Let's just fucking end it then.
Yeah. Well, it's after 7 anyways. I got
Let's
to go
just.
to bed.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.